the power of intuition, once you learn, there's no going back. Everything that I have in my life or achieved in my life, I credit intuition for that. My relationship, my kids, my success, Pilates studio that I'm about to open, the friendships that I have, the people that I meet, everything connects back to intuition. And I just recently got to know that this is not something that is used so commonly. And how I got to know that is by one of my friends. I was talking back and forth. She was asking me more questions like, how did you know that your husband was the one? I would answer a lot like, okay, it was intuition. I knew, I had a gut feeling this is the person that's meant for me and things like this. And she responded with things like, okay, like I want more answers, you know, like more clear direction, like what is it exactly? And I'm like, no, like I trust my intuition so much, and this has really like helped me paint the life that I want. And as I was talking more to her, I realized that this is not something common. Not every girl uses this. As women, we know our gut feeling, like we know what's true. Oftentimes we kind of like ignore the gut feeling, how to think with analytical mind. And a lot of the life that we want, whether that's, you know, wanting to settle down, whether that's, you know, resting in our feminine energy, whether that's having a career, like, you know, being ambitious yet being feminine, this is all about intuition. And the power of intuition, once you learn, there's no going back. It helped me grow on TikTok in my niche. I was doing some meditation and then I felt like I need to make this video, and I did, and it literally just like changed my life on TikTok. I'm growing like crazy on TikTok, which I never expected. Before listening to my gut, I was just following what everyone else was doing, and it got me nowhere, really. So in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you: how to listen and lean into your intuition. And if you like this kind of video, please subscribe down below, because on this channel I talk about feminine energy, still having your career, but leading a life of purpose and painting your own life. So if you like that kind of stuff, then please subscribe down below. What does being in your feminine even mean, right? So being in your feminine for me is like when everything is flowing for you, the life feels easy and life feels like it's just flowing and you're just like existing, and you're like just the best thing to ever happen to everyone that you surround yourself with, to everyone you interact with. So that's when you know that you're in like your feminine, and you're not like really anxious about like meeting people, because you know that you're worth it, you're worth of their time. You feel like everything is working out for you, and then when you're meeting with someone, you're at peace. You know life is working out for you. Life is in your favor. That's when you know you're in feminine energy, and that's when you feel creative and feel at peace. Being intuitive and really leaning onto my intuition is a big part of being in my feminine. For me, we have both feminine energy and masculine energy, and really depends on which one we need to lean into. And I feel like when you're in a healthy relationship with yourself, can really change the gears easily. First, evaluate like, what are we leaning on to too much? If you're in your feminine too much, maybe you're not taking actions, or maybe you're relaxing too much. Be on a man to support you 100%. My message is that yes, rest in your feminine energy, but still have your own income, have your own business, have your little thing going on the side. So you really like balance both the energies. This really helps you like carve out your own kind of life. So on this channel, that's what I talk about. I talk about like really balancing those energies and making sure that you're still like protected. So if you're resting too much in your masculine, then that basically means that you feel like you're not deserving of things, and then you need to achieve something in order to be somewhere. If it was up to me, like I would want this to happen, but I know that's not that's not realistic. You know, let me stay in my mindset that I'm at, where, you know, I think I need to struggle in order to get somewhere. Most of us women who are actually like raised in Western society, we're basically trained to lean into our masculine a lot, and we're actually shamed by society to leaning into our feminine energy. Whether that's, you know, wanting to stay home a little bit more, not wanting to do 9 to 5, that just kills everything out of us. Having a cozy family, enough energy to like give it to your family, things like this. 9 to 5 really robs that out of us. Society needs extra help. extra people. They don't care if you're a man or a woman. They just want people to work for them. It's really hard for a lot of women to really think about their life because they're thinking they need to achieve something. How can you train yourself to lean into your feminine? So the first thing is not judging the women who are already in their feminine. Basically, it comes down to being jealous, right? Like it really is a sign of being jealous, because why are you judging? If you were in a happy place in your own life, you would not be judging other women who are actually living their dream life. When we want a life that other woman is living, natural instincts that we have as humans is basically to come up with reasons why it's not possible for us, right? So you would just say things like, oh, she's so privileged, oh my God. Little do you know that that privilege is basically something that she attracted. That privilege that you see as privilege or luck is something that she just attracted in her life and painted that by herself. So, when you're jealous of someone, really ask yourself, what is it that I'm being triggered by? Is this the life that I'm actually wanting? If that's the case, let me listen to myself and, try to see what I can learn from this person's perspective and see like how I can face my fears. Because when you're being judgmental of other women, it's basically we have a fear, something hidden in ourselves that we need to face. And so use this opportunity where you're being triggered by a woman, whether she dresses nicely, whether she's showing off her like amazing life or whatever it is. Why is it that you're triggered? Because if you were happy in your life, you would not be triggered. You would be like just smiling. You would be smiling and be so happy because it's also possible for you. When you're triggered, take a moment, really think about it. What is it that I like about this girl? Okay, I like about this. Okay, what is it that I can do differently? And then the second thing is allowing yourself to experience that. Like I said, we're trained to be in our masculine, so it's really like looked down upon when we are trying to lean into our feminine. Any girl that's living the life that she wants, she'll tell you she lies on her intuition. How I lean into my intuition is I take out my time to do some meditation, right? You can have a meditation moment in your car, meditate in your bed. You can meditate any way you want. And basically what that means is just really like quiet, like staying quiet and really just letting yourself really like talk to yourself, really listening to that silence and just letting the emotions really like float, and then getting the message, really listening to yourself and hearing what your body and your gut feeling and your subconscious is trying to tell you. 95% of your life is actually controlled by your subconscious, and only 5% is actually the analytical brain. So when you sit down in meditation or like lie down and close your eyes and quiet your mind and listen to yourself, your subconscious is going to try to talk to you, and that's when we listen to it. If you have some inspired action, if you want to take this action, if you have this urge that you dreamt about this life and you just have this urge to like take this action, go ahead and take it. The two things that are really important when we're listening and leaning into our intuition is first listening to ourselves, and secondly is actually taking actions. And okay, the first action might not work. Maybe like the one action that you took may not work, but take 100 actions, because your life is actually worth those risks. Taking those actions really is the key, like inspired action. So when you're taking those inspired actions, you'll feel it in your gut that you're just excited. You're like a little kid when you're doing those things. It won't feel like, oh my God, I just have to do this like page like essay or something. No, even if it's 100 page that you feel like you need to create, when you're typing, it would just feel like it's flowing. And with guidance too, right? Like if you have some mentorship and you listen to your gut feeling, that's when like amazing things can happen. Because if there is someone that's already living your dream life and you listen to your own gut but also go through it with them and then get their approval kind of things, then it just like you can literally create magic in life. And so how you can lean into your femininity is by really, first of all, not judging women who are living your dream life and who are leaning into their feminine energy and living their best life. First of all, we start there. And then secondly is we lean into our intuition is by taking the time to quiet our mind and then listening to ourselves, like the subconscious that it's trying to communicate with us, and then taking inspired actions and being fearless. Like literally nothing you can do within reason that you would take that inspired action and it's so embarrassing and it completely changes your life for the worse. There's nothing, I promise you that. So take that inspired action and leave in the comments down below, like how do you want your life to be like, and maybe in 3 years, how do you want your life to be like? What is your dream life? Because sometimes we haven't even thought about our dream life, and then we're just wanting something that we don't even know what we want. Once you let yourself dream, that's when all the answers are going to come. Your supercomputer is going to start working. And then when you take time out to really quiet your mind and listen to that supercomputer, what should I do next? And then you're going to get this idea to do this. And that's when amazing things can happen.